Guys, look, Reg, get a picture. We just love living on the river. Those are the geese. They make a lot of noise, but boy, they're pretty to watch. Anyhow, I'm out here this morning because here it is. The date's the 26th of January, and I cannot believe that just 4 days ago, I woke up. It was -2 degrees, having my coffee. We had 9 inches at least of snow. And what happened in those 4 days is the temperatures rose, obviously. The snow melted, and the rains that we were supposed to get didn't happen. We had gentle rains, more drizzle than heavy rains, and we're fortunate. I haven't heard if there was extensive flooding in West Virginia. This is zone 6A in West Virginia, and our river didn't even get bank full, so it melted slowly. But it's January, and I want to start documenting every month in my garden, and so I'm going to come out and I wanted to take a look. I did come out and straighten up that little bit of fencing because deer have been out. The good news about this upper garden is it's pretty much deer resistant plants. My hellebores, I'll point out, they have nice little buds that hopefully by next month they will be blooming up and give me some color. My little primrose, you can see a little bud right here. Oh my gosh, look at all those. And they've been covered in 9 inches of snow.
Oh, more than 9 inches.
More than 9 inches, probably. So
yeah.
These are really, for a new gardener, these are really hardy perennials. Your primrose, your hellebores, and even look at the heuchera, the guacamole heuchera, doing beautiful. These need a little grooming. I can't remember the name of these little purple ones, but I love them because they're sun and shade. But anyhow, I just wanted to come out and see how everything is faring, and so far it looks pretty good. You've seen my video of of how the snow covered up all of my winter sown pots, but they're full of moisture. So let's go down in the garden and see if everything has survived that extreme cold and the heavy snows. I did come out the day that I heard it was going to warm up, that -2 degrees is going to 40 degrees. I came out and I did dust off the snow that were over top of my miniature evergreens. This is Anna's Magic Ball Arborvitae, because I was afraid that it would melt and then freeze that night and then maybe break some of the limbs, because you should do that in the winter with your, even my boxwoods. I came down in here, I shoveled a path to get down in here to prevent that from happening, and it didn't happen, which was great. The other thing I wanted to check, because I have heavily mulched my garlic, I didn't cover it with a cloth, which I thought I might if it got to sub-zero, but it was totally covered in snow, which creates a blanket. And so far they look good. We'll see what happens. So I might get some dieback from the tops, and that happens in the winter with your garlic. But we've redirected the water, so this isn't catching all the water. That should help so it doesn't freeze and thaw. And I've mulched that with at least 4 inches of leaves. So hopefully I'll get garlic. Last year was a bust. The year before was wonderful. So we'll see. So that looks good. The rose still hasn't completely defoliated, but that's all right. It'll get trimmed back in March. Anyway, I want to grab this, Reg, get this put back up. Well, I can do that after we do this. This got blown off in the wind prior to the heavy snow, and it was weird for 2 weeks. We had heavy rains, we had heavy snow, we had high winds, but the boxwoods look great. Makes me very happy with that. I had come out, it must have been 2 weeks ago. It was flurrying, a little fresh. We actually did a video and I never got it up there. And I did some winter weeding, because with all this rain and moisture, if you have chickweed, let's see if I got most of it out of here. It just comes right out. And I did a pretty good job. Here we go. Here's a little bit. So like this little chickweed that gets caught up in all your plants, In this kind of weather, get out, and this is the time to weed this kind of stuff. And I did a little edging, so you can do something on a pretty day like today in your garden that makes, come March, when it gets even prettier, you won't have so much to do. And it just, when you walk out, it looks nice. I got the yard raked that day too, and I haven't noticed a lot more of limbs or small leaves down from the willow tree. And even though we saw deer hooves, I did spray that day too with some deer repellent. I don't see a lot of damage out here. I see footprints, but I think, yeah.
Oh, I saw footprints in the snow.
Yeah, they've been in here. The good news is this time of winter, they can chew on stuff, but there's not much damage they can do. They love my roses, but there's nothing happening there. But otherwise, I think everything, even though it was cold, there was such a blanket of snow that nothing's going to be too harmed. You know, we should start seeing more daffodils. I noticed daffodils up there when I was coming up, when I was up there looking. I'm sure under these leaves, if I separated those out, we'd see some daffodils. Oh, I do, back in there. I see some foxgloves coming up. It's fun to get out and see what you do see coming through the ground. The boxwoods, they did great. I got them covered off. And like I said, the river stayed bank. I didn't even get bank full. Oh, I see a lot more of the daffodils coming up around the tree here. And these are heucheras that I put in last spring when I redid this. It's pretty much a dry shade bed. And, oh, good. We'll see if my Brunnera come back, because I added some different plants in here. Although it is, like I said, January 26th. Oh, this is what got blown down and broken that day, and then it got bad. And this is where Reggie's piece of art, the hello, goes right here. I'll get that back up today before I go upstairs. But it looks great. It's not what I was expecting. I thought I'd see a little more damage on the boxwoods. I thought I might see, I don't know what I thought I might see. I don't see a lot of deer droppings, but I got this all weeded that day before it all blew in. And that edging looks nice. To me, when I sit up on the deck, I don't see things that I'd like to be doing. And but today would be a great day to do it. But anyhow, this is what I'm doing in January, just taking and assessing. We're talking about, or Reggie's talking about, up by the rain barrel garden where the hellebores are, we're going to put a gate and do some fencing up there, some permanent fencing, because my mesh fencing works to some degree, but it seems like they really bust through there. And I think Reggie's still thinking about that. Are you?
What?
Are you still thinking about doing a fence up there?
I can't wait for the weather to break and I can get out there and do it.
I know. We've thought about that for several years, and sometimes I just put it off, but it needs to be done because it'll keep things neater, tidier, and it'll look so much prettier, at least halfway up that hill. We'll decide how far it's going to go. The other thing that'll happen next month is I'll be trimming back my, what are those things?
Sedums.
No, not the sedums. Oh, my vining. Clematis. The clematis. I'll get in here and do some trim back of the clematis. The ones that can be cut back to about a foot. Great. The sun came out today for the first time. I was ready for some sunshine and 60-degree weather, which is definitely not typical in West Virginia in January to have 60-degree, not only days, but nights. That's bizarre. And the next 10 days look good, which is going to be fun because if we can go see French Creek Freddy, which is the groundhog in West Virginia that predicts our spring, I'll probably put a little video up for that because
you should do that.
There's going to be a party. And if you've never been to a groundhog party, you need to come to Sister Lisa's house. That could be a fun night and a fun day. But I'll probably get a little video out if we get to see French Creek Freddy. There's a chance we may, and a chance we may not. But if nothing else, we'll go to the Wildlife Center and just grab out one of those groundhogs and get our picture with them.
Don't do that.
I know, we won't do that. Anyhow, that's January in the garden. And everyone get out and take a look and see what's happening in yours. I didn't have any limbs break, which is great. That's the other thing you want to look for with the heavy snow. Again, that's why you shake them off. I can see the catkins on the Harry Lauder walking stick. That adds a lot of texture. I love that. On your Harry Lauder walking stick, or your, what's the other name for it? A filbert.
What? Curly hazelnut.
Curly hazelnut. I don't know my nuts. Anyhow, that is it for gardening on the West Fork in the garden in January and anticipating spring. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in February for some clematis trimming. Thanks for watching. Bye.